All right, big speaking week for me. One, talk in the New Jersey local SHRM chapter, and SHRM is the Society of Human Resource Management, and I'm speaking on 21 ways to incorporate diversity and expand the talent gap. And then the next day, I'm MCing an event on people of color in tech. So a lot of what I do when I'm prepping is I basically go through the presentation in my head, walk around the house, walk around the apartment like I'm doing right now, the apartment, and put myself in a mental state of mind that I'm going to be confident in my message and I'm going to deliver value. It's pretty excited. Speaking is one of my favorite things, not only because you get to connect with the intended audience that you're trying to reach out to, but you also get to learn from them and see what the pain points are. And then Sandra and I go back and see if we can solve those problems.
All right, so you heard about my speaking process, and while walking down the streets, I began to process some of my thoughts. The theme this week was how to improve diversity in tech, how to improve diversity in the workforce, and I began to think about the way that I wanted to approach it. So let's assess the situation. We are at a crossroads currently, and I think that companies can use this moment as an opportunity for some much needed self-reflection on the troubling reality. The troubling reality that the American tech industry remains an industry of white male privilege. So if that's the case, and the data supports this, Black people, Latinos, and Native Americans are underrepresented in tech by 16 to 18 percentage points compared with the presence in the US labor workforce. How can we actually solve this problem? It's not enough to just say that there's a pipeline problem, because it's much more than that. For example, research shows that Black people and Latinos earn nearly 18% of computer science degrees, but hold barely 5% of tech jobs. So obviously there's much more at play here. I think we can solve this problem through two A's: awareness and accountability. So when I say awareness, I mean everyone involved with hiring, firing, managing, making decisions in every company should be aware of what their biases are. We all have unconscious biases. Biases don't make us racist or sexist. It's just a human reaction to a lot of things that we process. So being aware of our biases, we are able to then see where we are at fault when we make decisions. Number two is accountability. We have to be accountable for every hiring decision that anyone makes. There needs to be a system of checks and balances that allows the hiring managers and recruiters to justify their decision. I also encourage companies to make public declarations of their diversity goals so that we all can hold them accountable for that. Google and Pandora and companies like that have started to say, we are approaching 50-50 gender equality, we want 30% minorities. This way, the public knows what they declare, and in their annual reports, we can make sure that they're being held accountable. I think if you put this amount of pressure for companies to do the work, it forces them to expand their sourcing pool and to go into places they otherwise wouldn't have gone to find true talent. If we don't implement these changes, the industries will only continue to perpetuate existing forms of racial bias and discrimination, which pose legal, financial, and reputational risks that will persist until the industry's policies align with its rhetoric. Now would be a good time as any to tackle the problem. Diversity exists around us. We just have to do the work to leverage them to our workforces. Till next week, use your difference to make a difference.